Hello friends, welcome back to another studio vlog. If this is your first time here, my name's Heather. I'm the owner of Charming Chapters, which is a small bookish business located in North Dakota. And this week we are going to be continuing to sew book sleeves for our fall and Halloween pre-orders. We started on those last week just a little bit, but we are going to be continuing to sew all of those this week. We also have a few orders that came in over the weekend, so we're going to be sewing those up today and starting to pack those. So it's going to be another busy week, so we better get started. We were able to get quite a few sleeves done, as you can see from the pile back there. So we're going to pack some orders today. The post office has closed already for the day, but we're going to get everything packed up. That way we can get those mailed off tomorrow. that's gonna be it for today. A few of the sleeves that I had sewn up today, they are for pre-orders, but we are waiting on some items for those orders. They might be tumblers, coasters, car air fresheners. So those are just gonna set off to the side for now until the rest of the order is ready. We'll be back again tomorrow. We're gonna be working on more book sleeves, so we'll see you guys then. Good morning, friends. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy this morning. My allergies are flaring up. I had some of that smoke from the Canadian wildfires move in overnight, and so my sinuses are not happy today, but that's all right. We're just gonna plug through. I've got some allergy meds in me, so hopefully those will help a little bit. Today we're just going to be working on more book sleeves for the fall and Halloween pre-orders. We have a little bit of fabric we need to cut. We need the matching inside linings for all of those sleeves and then the foam for those as well. So we're going to work on cutting that this morning, and then we're going to get to sewing everything. Alright, so we're able to get a few sleeves done today, so we're going to pack up the couple orders that we can. Again, we're going to have some sleeves that we're just going to set aside for now until we can pack up orders when the rest of the pre-order items come in for those. It looks like there is an order out for delivery today for some stationery, so we might be able to pack up a few more orders later today. It just depends what time that stuff shows up. If it's a little bit too dark for packing orders, then we'll just wait and pack those tomorrow. So we're just going to pack the orders that we can for now. friends, that's gonna be it for today. Little Luna here is ready to go outside in the garden and run around. It is getting towards the end of our gardening season, unfortunately. There was frost in the area a couple nights ago. Thankfully, we didn't get any of that frost, so we still got a few vegetables left. There's some carrots, some zucchini, and some tomatoes, but we're gonna go enjoy the nice weather we can. It's back in the 80s today, so it's been kind of weird weather, which is typical of North Dakota. We went from 30s and 40s in the evening the other night. Now we're up into the 80s in the day, so we're gonna go enjoy that nice weather. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna get a little bit later of a start. My husband and I are gonna run into town. We're gonna take that big bag of orders into town. Isn't that a cute bag? I got that at TJ Maxx a couple years ago, and I just love the bookshelf. So even though I don't have any cats because I'm allergic, I just thought it was a super cute bookish bag. So we're gonna take those orders into town tomorrow, and then we'll be back in the studio again tomorrow working on more of your pre-order book sleeves. And hopefully that package will show up tonight too with stationery, so we can get some more orders packed up and sent out to you guys. So we'll catch you guys again tomorrow when we're back at it. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. It is about 10:30. As I mentioned yesterday, we had a few errands to run this morning while we were in town, and we got some orders mailed off for you guys. It's been a long morning already. We had to get up early to get to town. My husband had an appointment at 8:15, and it's a half an hour drive to get there, so we were up early. So got my Celsius this morning to give me a little boost to energy. If anybody has any recommendations for tea with not like a whole bunch of caffeine, but just a little bit to wake you up, let me know. I love hot teas, and now that it's getting cold, I would absolutely love some recommendations. This morning, we are just downloading some of the content from the last few days off of my phone. That way we've got room to record more things. I also responded to a couple different people who reached out about wholesale. And I also am excited to announce that I am making custom book sleeves for an author. I'll put all of her information down below here, and I'll put a little peek of the book sleeve that I designed up in the little corner here. But author Casey Blair is doing a Kickstarter right now. She has this really fun book. You guys definitely should check it out if you're into like cutesy fantasy, dragons. Like I said, I'll put all the information down below, but she's got a Kickstarter going on for the next couple weeks, and I designed a few stickers that are in there, and we are doing book sleeves. With the different tiers, you can get like a paperback or hardcover book sleeve. So that would be I believe it's our large and our extra large. I'll have to go back and look. If it's different, I'll leave a little caption down below. But I believe it's our large and our extra large book sleeves, and I made the design up for these, and I love the colors that she decided to use for the book cover, and we did the book sleeve to match that. So if it's something you guys are interested in, definitely check it out. Like I said, I'll put a picture of the book sleeve up here in the corner, and I'll put all of her details as well as the link for the Kickstarter down below in the comments. So definitely check that out. I'll be sharing it on socials and our newsletter here too. We'll probably send out a newsletter probably this Friday. We might work on that once we get caught up a little bit on book sleeves here. We also need to finish editing last week's studio vlog. I might start on that this evening a little bit, but that's another thing on our to-do list for the week. But we're going to try and catch up on all the book sleeve orders that we can today. I think there are 6 or 7, looks like maybe 7 pre-order book sleeves that we need to finish up. And then we had an order come in overnight from Sarah. Thank you so much for your order, Sarah. I know you love watching the YouTube vlogs, so hi. I can't wait to make your book sleeve for you. And we're gonna order in some fabric. Looks like she's wanting some other book sleeves too, so we'll have those to sew up in a couple weeks. If there's ever a book sleeve that's out of stock, like a certain size or pattern that you want, definitely let me know. Just shoot me a message and I am more than happy to order it in for you. I usually order fabric every couple of weeks just to try and stay caught up on everything, but I haven't been able to. Oh, Luna came running back with her ball. I haven't been able to order just our regular book sleeves lately. I was just kind of focusing on all the fall and Halloween stuff. So like I said, if there's ever something that's sold out, please don't be afraid to reach out. I am more than happy to order it in for you. But yeah, we're gonna sew book sleeves today, and then we are gonna be able to pack some more orders. We did have that stationery show up yesterday, as well as backing cards for our car coasters. If you watched, was it last week's studio vlog? Maybe the week before. I made up some backing cards for our car coasters because the ones that came with it were pretty generic and Charming Chapter style. We needed some colors, so we got those. We're gonna work on cutting those today, and then we'll be able to pack a few orders with car coasters. My Luna's playing with her bed down here. In case you didn't notice, she got a new pink bed and she is obsessed with it. Anyways, my mom had made up our car coasters. She does our sublimation for us. I've got a couple of those on hand, so we're gonna pack up what we can for those. I also just visited with her this morning. She finished up the rest of the car coasters, the car air fresheners, and the tumblers, so those should hopefully be here by Saturday. So we'll be able to pack up the rest of those orders Monday, Tuesday next week. And then we're waiting on one order of fabric to come in too. And I think that, I should look here. When I looked yesterday, it was showing delivery for today. Let me peek real quick. See if it's still showing today. But that'd be nice because then we could work on getting that washed. I like to wash all my fabric when it comes in. It just helps keep any extra dyes from bleeding when I'm sewing and ironing and things like that. And just makes it much nicer quality fabric to work with too, because it's not as stiff. So let's see. Yeah, it's out for delivery today. So we'll be able to get that washed. If it arrives early enough today, we'll wash that today and then maybe start on those book sleeves tomorrow. So fingers crossed it arrives early. Luna, you can hear her. She's kind of spicy. We've been starting to leave her outside of her crate when we go to town or run errands where there's not too long. And so she's a big girl now. She's about 1.5 years. So she's a little spicy this morning because she got to free range. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish downloading the stuff off my phone and then we're gonna get started on those book sleeves, get those sewn up. I probably won't film the sewing part for you guys today just because it's what we did the last couple days, but once we get to the order packing, we'll film that as well as cutting the backing cards for the car coaster. So we'll see you as soon as I am done sewing. I just realized that I never showed you guys the wall art that I got hung up over the weekend. So I hung up 4 new art prints this weekend. So this one here and this one here are from Catnip Studio. I'm sure several of you watch her videos on YouTube as well. I had ordered those quite a while ago, actually before she started her new adventure when she was kind of closing up her current studio. So those have been here for a while. I just haven't had the chance to hang them up yet. And then this one here and this one here just came in from Unicorn Eclipse. I absolutely love their style and I thought they were so cute and whimsical. I don't know if I can get a good view with them without a glare, but this is kind of like me in a nutshell. I love reading at night. I love the ocean. So that one I just had to have. And then this one, whoops, if I can get it without the glare. There we go. That one I just needed because of the colors and because it kind of matched the cutesy kind of nighttime theme we had going with all the purples and blues and stuff. So those are the new artwork that I got hung up. And then Miss Luna here, she decided it was time for a nap. And she's so cute. She's always extra cute when she's sleeping. All right, so we got all the sleeves done that we can for the pre-orders. The fabric still hasn't arrived yet, so I'm guessing I'll be washing the fabric tonight and we'll be cutting all that tomorrow and starting to sew what's left on Friday. I did make up the backing cards for the car coasters real quick, just because I want to get orders packed up. It is already about almost 4 o'clock, like 3:45 right now. So I want to get as many orders packed today as we can because tomorrow is supposed to be a rainy, gloomy day. So I want to pack orders while we got the sunshine. So that is going to be our next project. be able to pack today. It looks like we still have quite a few orders waiting on items, about 30 orders. So if your order hasn't shipped yet, don't worry. It just means I haven't received all the items for your order yet. We are still waiting on those tumblers, car coasters, air fresheners. That fabric hasn't been delivered yet today, so hopefully that'll be here tonight so I can get that washed and then we can work on that tomorrow. Or if you pre-ordered one of the Haunted Library boxes, we're still waiting on one of the items for that. So we're just gonna kind of wing it for tomorrow's plan. Like I said, hopefully we'll be able to work on that fabric for those remaining book sleeves. If not, we'll just work on some of the other items on our to-do list. So as you can hear, Luna is getting all wound up. She is ready to go outside and run around. That is her thing about this time. She knows it's quitting time for the day and she is ready to go out to the garden. I don't know what she's gonna do when it's winter time because that's her favorite place right now. She's not a big fan of the snow, so I guess we'll find out when it starts getting a little bit cooler. But like I said, that's gonna be it for tonight, so we'll catch you guys again tomorrow when we're back at it. Hello friends, happy Thursday. It is a gloomy, rainy day here, but it's supposed to be 80 degrees too, so I'm not sure if the sun's supposed to come out later and warm it up. As far as I know, it's supposed to be gloomy and rainy and really windy, so hopefully the weather will clear up just a little bit where we can run a couple of those orders from yesterday over to the post office. We'll just see what it does here. Luna's spicy again this morning. You can probably hear her in the background. Today we are going to be working on cutting the fabric that came in. It did come in last night, so I was able to get that all washed up. So we're going to work on cutting that up today and getting everything ready to sew. If we have time today, we'll do a little bit of sewing. If not, we'll start on the rest of those book sleeves tomorrow. We're also going to be, while we're steaming the fabric that we're cutting today, we're also going to steam some of that extra fabric that we cut, was it last week? Week before? Anyways, the extra fabric for the fall and Halloween book sleeves, we're going to steam that up too because I do want to get that on the website just in case anybody wants to order those. Obviously the pre-orders are going to be priority. You know, I want to get all those out to you guys, but there's some extra fabric that I did have on hand, so we're going to get that added too. I'm not sure if we'll get it added today or tomorrow, but we're definitely going to steam it today. That way it's ready to go and it won't take too long to get things added to Etsy and the website. So sorry, the camera's shaking. Luna is playing under the desk here. Like I said, she's a little spicy today. Me, not so much. I'm tired again. My allergies have been terrible, so it makes it a little hard to sleep when you can't breathe. But she has no trouble sleeping, which is why her battery is fully charged today. But yeah, I just finished cutting the fabric down into strips. That makes it a little bit easier for ironing, just in case you haven't watched one of the vlogs before. So next up, we're going to cut fabric. I did order a yard of our new bookshelf design for Halloween. It's the skeleton animals. You'll recognize it here if you've watched one of the studio vlogs before. There's one book sleeve that we need out of there for pre-orders. The rest of the fabric's just going to go into stock. So we're going to cut that up real quick and then we're going to start ironing and steaming everything before we cut it all down. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear the thunder or not, but look at this weather. We've got the thunderstorm rolling through and then the blue sky's trying to peek in. How pretty is that? I just realized I forgot to give you an update on where we are at with our audiobook. We've got about 30 minutes left of Air of Fire. I didn't quite have enough time to finish it last night, so we'll finish that today. Right now I actually have Twilight on in the background in case you haven't seen on social media. Although if you are a 90s child like me and you read Twilight like in your high school teen years, you're probably already familiar, but it's the 20th anniversary for Twilight and there is a YouTube channel that has been streaming them live all week and they're gonna stop the live this Sunday. So I thought it'd be kind of fun just to put it on the background a little bit this morning. They are on the second part of Breaking Dawn right now, and then I'm assuming it'll just start the series over again. But I figured I'd put that on for a little bit just to mix it up, and then a little bit later here we'll finish up Air of Fire, and then we'll move on to the next book. But for now, we're gonna get started on those book sleeves. Also, you might see me wearing slippers today that do not match my outfit. And that is because my feet have been so sore from our floors lately. In case you haven't been watching our studio vlogs, we moved into an older, I shouldn't say old, an old-ish farmhouse earlier this year, and we've been slowly updating it. And we put new vinyl flooring in, and there's zero cushion with it. So my feet have been so sore just from standing and working on it. So these are the only slippers that I could find that had some cushion the other day when we were at the store. I'd like to get a black pair, so hopefully I'll find a pair. But if you see my tan slippers that do not match my outfit, it's because I'm trying to save a little wear and tear on my feet. had a fun surprise arrive. The tumblers, car coasters, and air fresheners that we thought were going to be here Saturday actually just arrived today. So we are going to work on getting some stickers and care cards added to the tumblers. And then we're going to go through and make backing cards for the car coasters that we can. And then we're going to pack up some more orders just because I want to try and get your guys' orders out as fast as I can. So we're going to try and get out what we can today. And then we'll continue working on that fabric that just came in. All right, so looking at the orders that we could pack out today, a lot of them actually need air fresheners. So we're gonna wait to do those towards the end of today, and then we'll pack up those orders tomorrow just because the air fresheners need to sit a little bit. So right now I'm gonna run over the orders that I can over to our little post office. And then when I get back, we're gonna work on cutting some more of that fabric for the book sleeves so that way we can sew those tomorrow. So I actually just finished cutting all of the foam and inside lining for all of those book sleeves too. So we're just gonna clip those together tomorrow morning for whatever we're gonna be able to sew. Right now we are going to work on those air fresheners so we can let them soak overnight, and then we'll get them packaged up and put them into orders tomorrow. So we are going to work on those right now. Alright friends, that's going to be it for today. I am off to make some supper and spend some time with my husband while he's home tonight. I'm also going to try and finish last week's studio vlog so that way we can get started sewing a little bit earlier tomorrow. Normally on Fridays I take the morning to finish up the studio vlog from the week before, but I'm going to try and get that done tonight just so we have extra time for sewing tomorrow. So we will see you guys again tomorrow. Good morning friends, happy Friday. It might be a little noisy in the background. We are getting some new doors installed today, and Luna is complaining because she can't go supervise. So unfortunately for her, she gets to hang out with us all day today. This morning we are gonna work on putting the air fresheners into packaging. I didn't show me spraying that last night because it just got a little late and Luna was wanting attention. But we are gonna put them into packaging this morning, which means we'll be able to pack up some orders today. We're also gonna be working on that big old stack of book sleeves that we had prepped yesterday. We just need to clip them together, and then we're gonna work on sewing them, and then we're gonna pack orders. So let's start on those air fresheners and get all those packaged up. So we were able to get a decent amount of sleeves done today, so we are gonna pack up whatever orders we can. My husband and I are actually gonna go into town tomorrow, so it'll be perfect to drop off whatever orders are ready to go. So let's get some orders packed. All right, friends, that's going to be it for today. If you didn't see your order pack this week, we're going to finish up all the orders next week. Tomorrow, we are also picking up the last item that we need for the Haunted Library boxes. So everything from the fall and Halloween pre-orders are going to be shipped by the end of next week. So if you didn't see your order this week, please check in again next week. That's going to be it for this week's studio vlog. If you liked this week's content, I hope you stick around and subscribe to the channel. And also, please give this video a thumbs up. It just helps to share this content with other people who might like to watch these videos too. So we'll catch you guys again next week. It's going to be another busy one. Bye for now.